Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today, I have no downloads for the message yet, but we're going to use the Unshakable Inner Peace and Oracle of the Fairy cards. And then as I was sitting here kind of clearing the decks, I felt really drawn to bring in this rock and possibly this pointy stick. So yeah, this one is, what are you? This is an Andera. And this one is Bumblebee Jasper in a wand. Or, yeah. Anyways, let's shake it up. I was gonna be like, we need to shake up the unshakable inner peace first. If it's unshakable, what's coming out? Because I'm shaking it up. Oh, and let's do charms too. We can shake those. Something about shaking. So I picked out all these decks like last week and they just been sitting here like waiting for the reading to come out. So, Spirit, now's your chance to shake it out. Sorry, I just felt like I needed to stop for a second. That was weird. But as I did that, I saw 4. I saw Uno. I saw like color blocks. I saw the Uno reverse card. So here I'm trying to shake it up and it's like, no, Uno reverse. Unshakable. 1, 2. Hey, look at the first one. How many colors? It's almost like Uno colors. It was in reverse. Hey! Can't even make stuff up. Life is funny. 3. Ooh. And last one. I want one more. It's this one. Nope, it's not. It's that one. All right. Should we do the fairy ones too? They say we only need 2 fairy ones. 2 fairy oracles. And they go on the left and one on the right. One is the pillar of light. One is the pillar of dark or shadow work. So 1. And, ooh, who do you want to be? I don't know what to do with this. Let me think about it. I'm going to put it up here and I'm going to put it upside down and we'll deal with it when I need it. Because I feel like that's the clarifier of something that I'm not going to understand fully. All right, so I didn't really read the cards. Let's read them together. In reverse, in our Uno reverse, we've got, oh, it looks like healing. Okay, we've got the Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. In what ways are you abundant right now? So not having the Midas touch. Okay, let's read them all though. This one says, in order to receive, you must release. What can you let go of and what do you need to receive? Underneath that, we have you can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have for you? And then in reverse is gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? Then I said that we had the 2 fairy cards as like the light and the dark or like the pillar. But we have tree wisdom and then we have nature's signs. So I feel like all of nature, as above, so below, light and dark, whatever, is working through this. We'll get into that. That's what that card wants to talk about. I'm going to go a little bit off topic with that one when we get there. But I did notice a synchronicity besides Uno reverse. And that Uno reverse is just because, as this one said, to receive, you must release. So there's something filling up this energy. It's clogged. But over here, it said, you can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does the higher self have for you? And so this is the one that I was like, ooh, that's my first insight I got. So it's your higher self coming in and guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have? And then right beside this card was the tree wisdom. So what wisdom is your higher self trying to tell you? The tree dyad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sounds it makes. So the sound that needs to come through comes in this one. This one said, gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? It was in reverse. So there is something that seems to be taking up this healing Midas touch opportunity. And that's what they're saying. A lot of the time we see people outside of us who are kind of struggling, going through things, right? And let's say this is like an empath. It doesn't have to be an empath. That just seems to be the easiest person to pick because they seem to be so empathetic and they see someone and, you know, they see them hurting, like they just don't want them to feel bad. But it comes at a cost to them. So they make friends who tend to always be in the drama. There's always a problem wrong with them. It's like them. And they don't really fill up the cup back. It's clogged. It's just emptied. And when you do get their energy, it's usually like because they're complaining so much that all they are is self-focused. Their energy seems to be like thick. And I think that's why I keep saying clogged. There's something that has clogged this effortless, easy flow of energy. And energy should flow easy. It's saying over here, nature signs. Nature, when you look at it, there's tons of like waterfalls and water here. Water will always take the path of least resistance. But I'm getting from this a little bit of pressure. And this pressure is building up. And because it's blocked, I was going to say, hey, is this beavers here? But no, we got honey badgers. And that's what I'm getting. It's like, honey badgers are super tough. And they don't give a crap. They're not scared of anything. They go forward. They charge forward. But in this instance, I do feel like saying that they are beavers. That's the first thing I felt like. I feel like the honey badger energy will come in. But, oh, there's an otter there too. Oh, there's lots of creatures. The more and more I zone in, the more and more I see. So yeah, honey badgers, they're tough. They'll take on cobras, they'll take on lions. I knew someone who had that as like their like spirit animal. That was kind of like their soul energy. And they were tough little buggers. And they don't back down. They really don't. They're just like, they're tough. So that's what I'm seeing with this. As it said, you need to be grateful or gratitude. Taking more of the honey badger approach. So there we have the honey badger, and then over here is the otter, in case you didn't see him. But what is an otter? Otters are like fun and playful. It's like the opposite. So I'm seeing the badger and the otter, and that balance between them. But somewhere along this flow of being fun and playful and those kind of things, I got to like tough and spiky, right? Because that's how I see the honey badger energy. And by focusing more on that and not quite being in the playful otter side, that's where the beaver comes in. There's a block, there's a dam, and that's where I see this pressure building and building and building. And the pressure within is like anger. It's not being grateful. It's seeing things that you don't like. And you're like, why isn't things flowing? Like, I've done everything. Like, I have done everything, but why aren't things working out for me? If you were in the flow and things were, because you do need both sides. As I said, you do need the light and the dark. So coming in on this reading, in the dark aspect and the shadow side, I'm seeing the honey badger energy. And as I said, honey badgers are tough and they love to fight and they'll stand up for themselves. And on the light attribute, I see the otters, which are all about community and playing and like intellect and tools. So I see the honey badger as like protection and family and those things, right? Because there's like a yin yang. There's a good to the bad and a bad to the good in every situation. So nature's signs, what does it say? Be receptive to the whole subtle message from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need to be open. We need only open our hearts and our minds. And that's what I'm seeing. There's a need to like kind of shift between the honey badger and the otter energy. But I'm seeing someone be stuck just in the honey badger energy, and that has caused the pressure, that's caused the block, the dam, and I'm seeing them just be stuck in negativity. And because they're negative, it's like me versus the world attitude. I need to fight for what I've got. I just need to fight for what I got. And this Midas touch isn't flowing because, as I said, things are working out in your favor. Well, no, it's not. If you have a lower, if you're focused on like victim mentality or blaming or fighting, there are times we will need that, but I feel like it's a rut. So in what ways are you abundant right now? Well, you're abundant when you focus on what you're grateful for. What are you thankful for? Well, it could even be something as simple as this said, nature's signs. Nature talks to us continually. All we need to do is open our hearts and our minds. So where's the heart in all this? It's this card. Here she's touching her heart. And the heart, once you work on the heart, that's when the gratitude can come through. Especially when we're doing energy work, we pull it through our crown, anchor it into our heart. From our heart, it goes out our arms and then into our palms. Whatever we do with our hands is always from the heart. I always say this to people, but like I'm left-handed, and I think I'm left-handed. Isn't that funny to say? But like I do. I write with my left and I eat with my left. But anything that's personal or for me, I use my left hand. Anything to receive. And then anything to give, I always use my right. So like I throw with my right. I don't throw with my left. And why am I sharing that? There was a purpose. I can't remember. Oh yeah, what you do with your hands will always come from the heart. And what I've noticed is that I do have this thing about the left and the right. And then here we have that nature's wisdom and nature's signs. So nature's wisdom. It's talking about a flute and answers. So let me just like tap in. Somehow this one has to do with it, but how does that work? Okay, so this one said you can make it through. What wisdom does your higher self have for you? And I'm really drawn up to this spirit in the sky. There's like human earthly things, but this one is like either a higher self or angelic or spirit guide kind of energy. Then when I zoned in even more, it went to the stars, and it was like a map of the sky, and it just says like different constellations. The Ursa Major is standing out the most, the Ursa Minor. But what did I hear? Okay, so it was talking about the flute. It was talking about the vibration. And one of these cards says, nature talks to us continually. We need to open our hearts and our minds. And then I heard this one say about the flute. So it was like a music or a tone. And then it talked about the stars. It showed me the stars twinkling, and how that twinkling is a song that only your heart can hear. It's like you need to bring that energy in you, and once it's in there, that's when it's almost like, does a tree fall into if a tree falls over in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? And no, because it's your human ear that picks up it will make a vibration, absolutely. But if there's no ear to actually hear it and pick up those vibrations, you're the one that hears it. So what I'm seeing is like these stars twinkling and shining and making so much noise. But there's no noise for anyone to actually hear. But there's a need to like take it into you. Meditation or, I don't know, just stargazing, just being quiet. As this one said, you only need to hear with your heart and your mind. So anything that kind of gets the mind stopped so that you can be in the heart to receive. So now I'm seeing like the stars energy come into you. And then once it's in you, that's where the vibration kind of comes hold. And there it is. It's in the heart, and it just like takes over the whole body. And then I feel like that music is within you, right? You're made of stars. You have a guiding star. You always hear those kind of things. But the stars are also twinkling and talking. And there's a song or a frequency or a music for your heart to interpret. Yeah. So let me see. To receive, you must release. What can you let go of, and what do you want to receive? So, what do you need to release? As that said, there's like this music. This one says you need to listen to your higher wisdom. You can make it through. Your higher self is guiding you. And so here we bring in that starlight music. And what do we need to release? Well, that message that it told our heart to do. And what is that message? It's probably something that has to do with gratitude. It's about uplifting and changing and reinventing, I'm hearing. Because yeah, it's just something that's so different. Whereas like when we think of music or something, we think of like those vibrations from like a radio or a CD player. Are those even things that people use much anymore? That's just what came to my mind. But yeah, you listen to music and you interpret it. But what about the starlight music? And they're saying that because this music is so different, that's why it's like creative or inventive. They're telling me about music that we listen to nowadays, how it's on a certain scale or frequency, which I don't know much about this stuff because I don't really follow that stuff. So whatever I'm saying, I hope it makes sense to you, because that's the message that's coming through. But it seems like that the music or the hertz or something like that, we're at like a lower one, whereas the star one is like a higher one. It's almost like they kind of show like how some music can like hypnotize you or keep you at a lower energy. I don't know. So Spirit, what are we missing? They say look at the numbers. 5. Okay, so here we have 5, and 5 is change and chaos, right? It's changing things, it's mixing things up, it's shaking things up, even though it's unshakable, which is now bringing me back to like that blocked dam. It's just like, why can't I let this go? Why can't I let this go? Why can't I let this go? And then it's like trying just to make things rush and flow. And the more and more that you keep pushing things, the more and more it just seems to keep building and getting like a thicker, denser energy. So I'm almost seeing music as water. I'm seeing like whatever they're saying, like that music is like really heavy, and it's like trying to think of like something that's like heavier than water. So it kind of showed me like mineral oil or something, you know how it's just like thicker. I used to have like one of those rain lamps, and you put mineral oil in it and it would mimic rain. And so that's what I kind of see it as, like thick. And then I'm seeing the water, and then I'm hearing the starlight almost as something even lighter than water, which, well, it's light, so obviously, but it's in a liquid form, if that makes sense. Doesn't make sense to me yet, but maybe it will. And so there we have 5, we have change. Here we have 41, and if you add that, that also comes to 5. And that one lines up exactly 2 5s together. Then over here, we've got 15 and 16. It's like 16 comes first before the 15. And that's what I feel like kind of caused this clog or traffic jam, or not traffic jam, the Beaver Dam jam. And yeah, it's just like something just kind of like jumped ahead of it, and it just wasn't, and I'm almost seeing it as like that thicker water, that mineral oil. We'll say oil. Oil is thicker than water. We'll just say oil. And then it kind of like jumped it and made it clogged. So the answers are in the sounds. You just need to listen and I'm seeing it's all you have to do is receive. As this one said, to receive, you must release. What can you let go of, and what do you want to receive? The need to control and just allow things. Just receive the energy. What do you need to let go of? Pushing things faster than it meant to be. Because of that, the 16 ended up before the 15 and stopped things and made things harder. So now, I see, this is what I usually like use for like healing. Like I can take things out of people and whatnot. But as I look into this, I'm seeing, let's just see a little healing story. Obviously, I'm being drawn to, we kept talking about bringing it from the crown into the heart, but I'm actually seeing lower chakras. And it makes sense, right? Because that oil is thicker and lower, and that's that thing that's kind of like clogged. So I feel like in this, we need to work a little bit on the solar plexus, because if you were confident in the way that things were unfolding, if you were confident in your power, you wouldn't force things. You wouldn't jump things before they were meant to happen. And so that I see a little bit of solar plexus discomfort. And what about this? Something about in 3 days' time. When it comes to energy, you can, right, energy is instant. There could be a shift or a transformation. But what I see with this solar plexus is it's been very bogged down and it's so clogged. And I just keep seeing like everything keep coming and coming. And because it's supposed to flow and keep going, there's a lot of things to clear out. So I'm seeing emotions. I'm seeing almost like old debris, like leaves and just things. And it's almost like I'm seeing a mesh screen. And as like things like leaves come, I'm seeing them kind of like decompose and cause like just grossness, right? There's just a thick, heavy feeling. So they're saying like in 3 days' time that you could shift and transform this energy. They're saying not to do something so extreme like a water fast or something like that, but there is a need to drink more water. And for some reason, they're giving me the times 7 to 3, and I don't know what's up with that. 3 days from 7 to 3, there's something that you could do. And I don't know if that has to do with like intermittent fasting and stuff. I don't feel like that's what they're talking about. I don't feel signs of that. All right, they're showing it as like from 7 until 3 is like the time zone of like, because we're working on the solar plexus and like helping clear things out and like starting the engine to flow again. And so it shows it as needing to drink more water, right? Kind of like letting things flow, kind of like helping get in between things so that it could break it up a bit. Drink tons and tons of water. But they're also saying like, because everything's so clogged, they're like, eat lighter, right? It's not that you have to do it forever, but if you aren't feeling confident, if you have a lot of this emotional doubt and you feel heavy and you feel like you need to know the answers and you need to force things and that, they're just saying like in 3 days by just like working on your solar plexus, the first thing would be the water to help loosen things up. The second thing would be to eat lighter so that your stomach and those kind of things have a little bit of a break. Because I feel like a dam again, they show. And like it's so stressed, but like you could release it like in a easy way, like right, just a little bit by doing these things, or it's just a dam will break over time with too much pressure. And so we don't really want that, because I see that as like not a fun, happy situation. And so from 7 to 3, I feel like those are the times that they're showing like your body creating fuel and like kickstarting and doing all these things. And they're just saying, be mindful of what you eat in that time. If for like 3 days you could just eat lighter, it will help clean all the clogs in the system. Anyways, let's move on from that. I wanted to know what the last card was. It's just been sitting there doing nothing, right? It's like, but look underneath it. We've got abundance. It says, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and humanland, there is enough abundance for everyone. So that really coincides with this Midas touch. Here she is sitting on a flower that almost looks like this flower here, and there's just gold coins everywhere. Hey, she got a little wand, and here we've got our healing one. But I feel, and they say pay attention. You know what you eat and what you consume, and it's not even things that you food consume, it's energetically consume. So you can be in an environment, just whatever hurts your stomach, they're saying pay attention to that, because that is your solar plexus being like, a little help please, a little help. And that's all it needs. Like, what do you need to release? It's all that congestion, all the past. And as this one said, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you have. And I feel like the mental blocks, mental and emotional, go so close together that once you kind of start clearing this, and almost like 3 days of it, it just said be nice to yourself, right? Go for like light walks. Eat food that you know is going to help fuel you rather than deplete you. And in 3 days time, you'll start to notice that heaviness lifting from you. It's just going to leave your field. And from there, you'll have a little bit more energy. And that energy, they say like ground it, or ground it like a tree. We're going to bring in that starlight, that music, that kind of thing to help us. So what I'm seeing is like here in the 3D, it's such a heavy, dense area. We wake up and it's so heavy being human, especially when you're a soul, like out flying, doing your astral traveling, and then you get back in your body and it's just like, whoa. So it's just saying like, eat light. When we say eat light, it's that lighter music, right? That's that starlight. We're saying drink lots of water, ground yourself, get sunlight, light walking, keep it light. Because things have been very heavy in this reading. And because things have been heavy, it seems that it has caused a block. And because of that block, it's kind of cut off or severed the connection to source or your path, and the flowing and the allowing. And allowing is so intertwined with receiving. So if you can't receive, you're not going to have the Midas touch. No matter what you do, if you can't receive, all you're going to do is just like, I see money like, and then, in the end, the more and more you give and give and give without ever getting, it's almost like a depletion now. And then that's where that negativity kind of sets in, and it's like, well, why even try, right? I always get burned. I don't like this, blah, 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 blah. And then you just don't want to try anymore because you tried previously, and I'm hearing cause more harm than good. And so honey badger energy, what do you want to share? I want to pull one more card for honey badger energy. Because what I see a little baby honey badger. And it's trying to act like it's tough, but it's actually very scared. And all it really wants is just love and to feel safe. So that safety, that's why they're like so, it's like fighting for their family or their home or their safety. It's something to do with safety. So that's what I see, like honey badger energy being like the safety and the survival. It's the lower chakras. And so the solar plexus has a little bit of honey badger energy there. And it was good in some cases, but how can we let it flow and work together and also incorporate the fun, happy, carefree energy of the otter, right? And the otter is like a curious, I see the honey badger as protective of their family. And then it's almost like just because they have to, right? Like survival of the fittest type energy. And then I see the otter as like intellectual and using tools. And otters, I don't know, I've heard mixed things, but usually, have you ever seen like those sea otters when they're like sleeping at nighttime and they hold hands? Right, they're very committal and they have their partnership. So I see one as family, and then I see the other one as partnerships and like intellectual. They're both needed. So one is about that crown chakra and the insights and the learning to use tools and think differently, and the other one is about how can I thrive and survive, and finding the flow between the two. So when you block off one, especially if you block off the otter energy, which is all about the learning how to use tools and have fun, you're not going to have the Midas touch, because that's that out of the box thinking. So I said, I want to know a little bit more about this, and I pulled a card and I never looked at it, but this is it. You cannot make a mistake. There are infinite possibilities available to you. Where is your heart guiding you? And the only thing that I see, it's like, where's your heart guiding you to? Here she is. There's a star there. It's the stars. It's the starlight. It's the starlight song. And then there's like planets, like Saturn and stars. So something about Saturn. Saturn is like the very strict, like Zeus energy. Is Saturn or Jupiter? It's pretty much the same. Saturn is just like rules and things like that. And it's just saying like there is this balance. You are a bit feisty, and you'll stand up for yourself when people try to take advantage of you, but you're also fun, carefree, and very happy. And so it's like having this blend of the two, mix them, match them, and then share that. Don't get stuck in the I need to fight for everything, because if you're fighting for everything, you're not able to receive it. And what do you need to let go of? The need to fight. I'm hearing you need to fight for your right to party. Like an otter. Otters just want to have fun and play. And when you let go of that need to fight for everything, sometimes you're just worthy enough. Sometimes you just deserve it. And sometimes it's just a major freaking blessing. And that blessing will warm up your heart. And when your heart is warm, that's when you'll find that you have that Midas touch again. And abundance will come to you. So, is there anything else that I'm just kind of missing? I was like, I didn't understand how the Andera really played into this at the beginning, because as I read this, it's unshakable and Oracle of the Fairies. So I saw that as like very earthly, but this is Andera. And Andera came when a meteor came to Earth and smashed into the sand and melted the sand, and it created really cool rocks. And that's what I was like, how does the stars play into this? But it was the starlight music. It was that bringing it in you. And this is almost like reverse. So now I feel like talking about this rock. As it said, bringing in the starlight and into your heart and letting that song share with you. There's already little things that are representations of that. And so here's an Andera. And so you can put in your palm. And it's almost the opposite. Whereas before you were taking it in, well, this can go to the heart and then the other way. So I love working with crystals to heal. They sing. Okay, I was like, well, what song you want to share? And then it just kind of, it started skipping. it played a song and the song started skipping. And then I heard Michael Jackson and I heard don't stop till you get enough. And that enough is abundance. And you don't have to force it. The only thing you have to do is just keep being grateful. So just keep being grateful until you have enough. Because, which card was it? One of them talked about how the world is an infinite, abundant place. This one, the very last one. You can't make a mistake. And so you cannot make a mistake. There are infinite possibilities available to you. Where is your heart guiding you? To abundance and greatness and gratitude. And as this one said, gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? So, everything you look around you right now, there's something to be grateful for. So, it's just saying, take time, tap into it, and appreciate what you have. That honey badger energy is important. That's a little bit of the shadow side, is the spiky side that helps you feel safe and protected. But if you let that one run rampant, it will destroy a lot of things. And it will kind of clog the flow of your abundance. So remember to bring in the otter energy as well. Have fun and, use your mind for thinking outside the box. And the best way to do that is to be in a state of play. When you are playing and enjoying yourself, you're easier in the flow. Things will come to you easier. So with that, we'll leave it there. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye, guys.